Okay, today is a short troubleshooting ride because I was having some fuel issues or fuel pump issues. Or something else. So I've been in the shop here, well, at home, and completely pulling apart my fuel pump, which is not easy to do. It took me a long time to do that, and so I'm crossing my fingers. I had a backup fuel pump, threw that in, didn't work, so I don't know if it's anyways, a cheap pump. I think it only cost me 15 bucks, which normally the stock ones, I think they're like 250, 300. That's what I got a year ago. Okay, I think there's a place somewhere here I can mess around really close to the parking lot. And then a couple other guys supposed to show up, and they're heading somewhere else, but I might ride with them a little bit. Oh, good. Doesn't appear to have rained up here. Well, this is positive. I'm getting fuel. People are so nice. See, my truck has run really good. Had it for almost 20 years now. It's running so good I can't even buy a new truck, but it does have some electrical issues. One of them is that there's some type of door ajar problem, weird electrical, and I don't know how many people I've had being so nice, telling me that my dome light is on, cargo light, whatever, and I just leave it. It eventually turns out, and my battery doesn't go dead, so maybe I just leave a note on it so people don't worry so much, but it's fine. So if you ever see my gray truck with the cargo light on, have no worries. Alright, I think I saw a meadow up there. Starting to get confident enough. Let's go see if I can check that out. At least it's all downhill to the parking lot. Looks like some snowmobilers have been up here. Well, maybe not a meadow, but a nice ridge top with a view. Huh. It's an interesting spot. Okay, so far so good. My fuel pump change. Actually, it's the exact same fuel pump. So let me explain what happened. I talked about it quite a bit a year ago. But I had problems where I'd run the bike and like 2 or 3 hours later into the trip, it would start just like randomly sputtering and just die, and then you could start it right away and run for a little bit and die. And anyway, I tracked it down to either a little sponge piece that was floating around and blocking something, or it was just the bad fuel that the local C&M gas station was giving us. All kinds of people had water in the fuel for like a month when they didn't have a filter screwed on right or something. I wouldn't complain to them, and they were like, "Oh, that's too bad, we're sorry." Anyway, tough deal. Anyway, I had to spend $300 on a brand new fuel pump and got it going again. Just after that, made sure to be real clean and clear about every time with the fuel. I would refilter it again, then put it in, and I've been doing that ever since. Fuel pump's running just fine. I gotta stay close to a road just in case it happens again. So it ran fine for basically a year, and then last ride running good the whole ride, and then stopped, had some lunch. There's some snow bike tracks up there, and was riding in the afternoon, and all of a sudden same thing happened. So it happened several times, but I made it home because you can always just start it and get it going again. So I was like, this is impossible. I've been keeping the fuel really clean, and so I went in. First of all, I emptied my tank through my filter, and all kinds of plastic gunk was in there, like little plastic flecks. And so I was like, how could that happen? So my theory is still true. I think there's just a blockage. And so how did all that plastic get in there? Well, my new juice jugs, my gas cans, aftermarket juice jugs, when they came, the tag on them said rinse thoroughly. So I rinsed them out with water, let it clean out, and then I've been using them this year. But the thing is, I've hardly ever filled up because of my oversized tank here. I was just carrying fuel around, but it happened to be a big day that day, and I actually filled up at lunchtime with my fuel tank, and apparently there were just still a lot of gunk and plastic in there. So even though I'd filtered into the tank, I had a contaminated tank. So that, I'm pretty sure, is what caused the problem. Somehow, so I'm on a YZ450F 2018, and the filter is inside of the tank, attached directly to the fuel pump. So it's a submerged filter, so you can't access it. So that filter was also fairly black. I mean, it started out as white, but it was pretty black, so I don't even know if it's completely the plastic chunks, but something was either making its way through the filter and was small enough that it would get lodged in there and periodically just shut off flow. So anyway, pulling it all apart, and luckily my $15 fuel pump that I had that didn't work, the real reason I bought that was for the filter anyway. So I took the filter off, put it back on the pump I already had in here, and put it back together, and it fired up. It was still sputtering a little bit, but I figured I needed to run some fuel through for a while. That's why I'm up here today, and it's actually working normally right now. Like, I'm not seeing any issues currently. So the problems have always been well into the ride though, but I still think my theory holds true of being just being some type of physical particulate that is getting in there and just choking up the fuel supply. I don't think I've ever been down in these spots. I'm a little, I suppose I ought to get back near the trail just in case I have a problem. I don't think any sleds are gonna pull me out of here very well. But things are feeling so normal. That's why I'm off the trail. And some snow bike had some fun in here. Yeah, it is running surprisingly normal. Same pump, same housing, different filter, and then I've just refiltered and refiltered fuel, so I've got clean fuel in here. So we'll see. The jury's still out. I'm gonna run plenty of fuel through it because I got a big ski trip tomorrow, so I need this snow bike to save myself hours and hours of skinning. Yeah, it's feeling normal. So what I did, thanks to this awesome guy in Ohio that I think I met up with on the Thumper Talk forums, really good guy, had some extra fuel pumps that have higher flow regulators on them. Anyway, I wasn't going to be using them, and I texted him. He said make me an offer, and he gave me a really good price on it and said just the importance of the dirt bike community helping each other out, and he's sending me those. So I'm gonna plan on having like 2 or 3 fuel pumps. Might have to keep one in the truck at all times just in case, but that's something that hasn't stranded me, but it's just kind of ended some rides where I'm out there. And also I also had to change a fuel pump on the RMZ. And that was the same thing when that was stranded in the cabin. And I've also heard from other people, KTM's having some problems. So I think snow bikes just process a lot of fuel, and maybe it might just be a thing where periodically you gotta change out your fuel filters or fuel pumps. But it's certainly hard to do on the YZs. They do not make that housing serviceable, and it's an expensive part to buy a brand new whole deal. You wish they just made it so you could get to the filter. In fact, I might have to rig up a way to do that. But I think through some dremeling and whatnot, I've kind of got where I can access that, and I'll be able to start doing it quicker in the future. So I'll just plan on more often cleaning that out, because it's working good right now. While I was in there, I changed the spark plug too. Spark plug looked alright, it was working fine. But yeah, I think I'm looking pretty good here to maybe ride with the boys a little bit farther out. Alright, I'm rolling with some snowmobilers. Made it across the highway. Nice to have them here, just in case. looks like some good riding down in there. I've never hopped off the trail right here. This trail's kind of brutally icy right now. This is where the quiver ski is great. Just amazing. Whoa. Almost lost my... I was having some gas cap problems. I might need to do something about that. Anyway, on these, it's just so, the ski, this Nemesis ski is so amazingly stable. It just tracks a really good line here. I think some racers need to start using it. Start winning some races on it. Because it just actually, it's kind of really amazingly stable. Like, it's almost like it's a voodoo. You wouldn't think a ski would track this straight on some icy, nasty stuff. There's a little bit of layer, like maybe an inch or two of new on top, but otherwise underneath is just this rock hard trail. Gives me the confidence to go faster than I normally would. I'm a pretty cautious guy, but this ski has given me a lot of confidence. I used to always be a lot slower than the snowmobiles when I first started. Now, especially if the trail curves some, you can mob it faster than a snowmobile. Alright, we kind of hit, I think, a rain layer here. Something that has it too firm. So, we're going to see if we can get back by Uncle Barry's cabin. Bit chewed up in here. Out in a meadow back there. I'm gonna split off with the snowmobilers. They got a big long trip planned and I'm out of time. Yes, an untouched meadow. Thought I saw something back in here. Looks like there's some good riding in here. Oh, why doesn't it look very deep? Yeah, some of these logs are still showing themselves. Little spears like that. Yeah, we'll let a little more cover come in here. Could definitely spend some more time in this area. Alright, I was eyeballing some of this. Yeah, they logged in here. Looks like the snow could be a little deeper. Cool old big trees in here. Looks like some sleds have been having fun in here. Go back, see what some of this other terrain looks like for future reference. Yeah, there's some really good tree riding down here. Didn't even know existed.